Hi, welcome back to Camp Kitchen. Chef Joe here. Today we're going to talk about healthy snacks and just what constitutes a snack and what is an appetizer, what's healthy about it. As a snack, in the true definition, is just a small proportion of food eaten before a main meal. So sometimes a snack becomes your only meal. So when we want to talk about healthy and we want to talk about smart, we got to figure out why we're going to eat and what we're going to eat it. So if I'm out ice fishing, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, my snacks are going to have a little bit more protein, a lot more fat into them, and high energy stuff. If I'm sitting at my office at work, it might be a little bit different. So it might just be some celery and carrot sticks. It could be an apple, anything. There's all kinds of crackers, fruit. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 different snacks today. And we're going to make a fruit leather, and then we're going to make a protein granola bar, and then we're going to make one of my favorites is a trail mix. And my trail mix is a little bit different than yours. So when we get into that, let's talk about a snack versus an appetizer. Now this is a lesson I learned as a young kid, and I'm sure mothers and kids will all appreciate this because you experience the same thing. I come home from school and a little boy, I get in there, and my mom, "What are you doing?" "I'm getting a snack. Dinner's in a half hour. Don't eat anything." "Okay." "What are you doing? I told you. I'm not having a snack. I'm having an appetizer." Usually the response was, "You little," and it ended in an S word. So we will continue on with that. But again, snacks, that's why there's such a variance in them. Know the difference. How close are you to a main meal? And when can a snack actually substitute a meal? So as we progress through all of this, we'll talk about that. The first thing we're going to talk about is this fruit leather. And this is one of the things I really like to do. This is already a finished product. It's strawberries and blueberry. And I make this with huckleberries or different kinds of fruit. Today, we're going to have strawberry, mango, and blueberries. And yes, you can use frozen fruit, fresh or frozen. If you're using frozen, what you want to do is make sure that it's thawed out, put in a colander, and all the excess juice is drained off of it. So you only need 3 ingredients for this. And one is fruit. The other is a maple syrup or honey. Today we're using honey. And lemon juice. And so if you look at the fruit wraps and fruit leather that you buy in the store, you're going to see all kinds of different stuff in there, corn syrup, sugars, different things like that. So making it yourself is a lot healthier option. And I will warn you, you can do this in your oven, which we're going to do today, or you can use a hydrator. Either process, you're looking at 4 to 7 hours because this is at a low temperature and you just got to let it do its magic to get to that point. So that part is patient. So we're going to start off. We have 3 cups of fruit, 2 tablespoons of honey, and a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now the lemon juice helps maintain the colors and the brightness of the fruit, gives it a little bit more tartness, and of course the honey or maple syrup can be adjusted according to how sweet your fruit is. So I'm going to turn this on because we want to pulse this and mix it until it's just a nice smooth liquid. Alright, so we've got our fruit all mixed up and nice and smooth. And we're going to take this, and I have a silicone baking sheet. Parchment paper works just as well. What you don't want to use is wax paper or plastic because even at this low temp it'll melt and blend in to your fruit. And it's probably a little fiber you don't want to have. So we're going to put this out. You'll notice that it's just a nice kind of a thick sauce. Not necessarily sauce, but get that out. Now don't worry about spreading this to cover the entire baking sheet, because chances are it won't. It'll come close, but it won't. But what you do want to do is just spread this out in a nice even layer, about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick. And you don't necessarily have to get it all the way to the edges unless it'll go there. And some people say, well, I don't like the seeds from the strawberries or raspberries or that. So you can blend all this and make it out and then put it through a strainer to capture those seeds in that. Because basically it's the pulp, the meat of the fruit, and the juice is what you're drying out or hydrating. And this can be used for lots of different things. As a snack itself, it can be added to other snacks, and it will last about 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the refrigerator in an airtight container. And the reason you want to use that airtight container, such as a bag or something, is so it doesn't get brittle when it dries out. You want it to maintain that leather, chewy goodness. And so you get it all spread out. And what you want to do is just make sure that it's even, so it cooks down even, and there's no holes in the center or anywhere else in it. And so that's kind of what we want to look at when we have that in there. And now I'm going to put this in the oven, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make some protein granola bars. I'll be right back. Alright, we've got our fruit leather in the oven, and like I said, that's going to take between 4 and 7 hours. And after about 4 hours, you just want to check it, and all you're going to do is touch it to make sure that it's not sticky and liquidy in the center. And just give it time, check it, and then once it's done, you're going to have this beautiful finished product, which is why they call it leather, fruit leather. So the best way to do this is you want to cut it into about 1-inch strips with your kitchen shears. And then you can roll these up with some parchment paper, or you can do colored paper, however you like, and you can tie them with a little string or something, make them pretty for the kids, or you just leave it as a leather strip, and there's your protein snack. And then, like I said, there's other things we can do with this. You can mix it with jerky, you can mix it with trail mixes. So now let's talk about our protein bars. So when we talked about snacks, one of the questions I asked at the beginning of this was, when can a snack be a meal? Granola bars have become the breakfast of choice for people on the go. They travel well, they last a long time, and they taste good, and you can put different things in them just like anything else. So what we're going to do today is we're making a protein granola bar. And I'm going to read off these ingredients. As you can see, I've already got everything pre-mixed. So I have 1 1/4 cups of rolled oats, 1 1/4 cups Rice Crisp cereal, a 1/2 cup of a protein powder, and you can certainly do a vegetable base if you want to do all vegetarian or gluten-free. The Bob's Red Oats are gluten-free. So anyway, then I have a 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds, a 1/2 cup of pumpkin seeds, a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. I have a 1/2 cup of mini chocolate chips, a 1/4 cup of dried fruit, and I use dried blueberries because I like the blueberries, and a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon salt. I have 3/4 cup of honey, 3/4 cup of peanut butter, and then there's a teaspoon of vanilla extract in this. So it's a very simple process. You're going to pre-mix all of your dry ingredients, which I have done right here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the honey and the peanut butter, and you're going to melt that down over low heat. And after that, you're going to let it cool a little bit, and you're going to add your teaspoon of vanilla extract. And mix that in. So once this is all mixed in, we're going to add it to the dried ingredients. Now, if you've ever made Rice Krispie bars with the Rice Krispies and marshmallows, this is pretty much what it is without all the sugar of the marshmallows. And once this is all mixed in, we're going to take it and we're going to add it to our dry ingredients. And then we're going to mix this up, and it'll be a little bit thick as you mix that, but that's okay. And once we've got it mixed in there, we're going to take a 8x8, 8x10 pan, and we're going to line that with some parchment paper, and then we're going to put this into it and pat it out so it's even. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to let that set. Alright, we've got everything mixed up. Now we're going to put that into our pan. And we're just going to pack that in there. And this has got, like I said, it's got the protein mix in it, but it's got all those beautiful nuts and flaxseed and the goodness, and the peanut butter. Now, you can also use sunflower butter or, different things, almond butter. If you have certain peanut allergies, disregard that. You can make this without any nuts at all in it. But I just like it this way, because I can cut these into squares. They freeze really well. They'll last about 2 weeks in the refrigerator or about 2 months in the freezer. And they're a good on-the-go granola bar. Alright, so as tempting as it is, you don't want to dig into this right now. What you can do is lick the batter off of the spatula. So now we've got it pressed in there. We're going to put this in our refrigerator for about 30 minutes to set up. And now we're going to make one of my favorite things, is a trail mix. Alright, so now we're going to make trail mix. So in my day, trail mix started out as just a bag of peanuts. And then they said, oh, we'll mix the peanuts. And then somewhere along the line, somebody accidentally mixed M&Ms in with the peanuts, and they said, oh, this is really good, but we better make it healthy and we'll add some raisins. So that was trail mix back in the day. And so, me, I'm not a great peanut fan, but I do love nuts and I love crunchiness. So what I did is I created my own trail mix, and like everything else, you can add or not add what you like. I like this because I can take it, I can break it down into a cup to a pound servings, depending on if it's just for me or if it's a road trip or something. And it lasts very well. It can be vacuum packed down, sealed, and put in your car if you have a roadside emergency or something, or you're out hiking, you just need that compacted space, and this is something that you can break out and eat. So the list for this, which is included in the video, is what I have here, and these are guesstimates on how you want to do it. So don't judge me if I put more than half a cup of pumpkin seeds in here, because I'm making a whole bunch of this for a group of people. So but for this, we're gonna look at a half a cup of pumpkin seeds, half a cup of sunflower seeds, a half a cup of pine nuts, half a cup of cashew nuts, a cup of macadamia nuts, some crunchy, 1 cup of crunchy chickpeas, a cup of pistachios, a cup of corn nuts, a cup of dried fruit, and for this I'm using chopped dates and some of my fruit roll. And a cup of white yogurt covered raisins, a cup of chocolate covered raisins, 1 box of bite-sized crackers, a bag of Frito chips, and about a pound of jerky. And so this is a high protein, high fat, but it's really good. The reason I mix this is when I'm outdoors, especially in the winter extreme months, that high protein and high fat actually helps keep you hydrated. And that's something also that can happen in the summertime. So with this, you're eating less, but you're staying hydrated more and you have more energy that lasts. So crackers, you can do whatever type you want. And I like 2 crunches. So that's why I also have Fritos, because I like Fritos too. And it won't matter if these don't stay intact, because just like everything else, they're going to break down. And the Fritos don't. And these are gluten-free crackers. Frito corn chips are gluten-free. One thing I didn't have on there, but you got to have them. I mean, when you look at the trail mix and stuff, you got the little Chinese mix stuff, and you'll see that people like to pick those out, which is another interesting thing, and it's actually kind of a fun road trip, is you mix all this up and you give everybody individual bags, and after about an hour you say, hey, let me see your snack bags. And then you start looking to see what they picked out, because it'll be different things, I guarantee you. And so you can almost say, hey, I'll bet Johnny's going to eat all the sunflower seeds first, and oh no, he'll eat all the corn nuts first. So it's whatever you like. So when we add this, it's all just going into a big bowl. There's no rhyme or reason or sequence that you have to add it, because you're going to mix it all up anyway. And like I said, you can make it spicy. You can do different things with it. Make it what you like to eat. That's the big key to this. Is it's just certain things that you like. And I love macadamia nuts, so that's kind of one of my things. And chickpeas are also a great one. Cashews, I love cashews. Individually, any one of these is a great snack. The pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds without the shells. I mean, whoever said, hey, let's take the time and shell these things and then give them to people, genius. In school, that was always the big thing. You have a mouthful of sunflower seeds and then get yelled at for spitting the seeds or the shells. Got to have some chocolate covered raisins in there. You can use M&Ms. The beauty of M&Ms is they melt in your mouth and not in your hand. Kind of the same with these yogurt covered raisins. And I like both chocolate and white just because it gives it a nice little color and a bit different flavor on it. And our chopped dates, like I said, you can use any type of fruit that you like. Dates just have that good high energy, and if you notice, this is a combination of sugars, proteins, and salt. Sugar in itself, a candy bar nut, gives you that quick energy, but it burns out fast. So with the nuts and the peanuts and everything, and now this is about a cup of our fruit leather and our sliced jerky. And I made my own jerky, and this is antelope jerky from last year's harvest. And then just because we have some leftovers, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the dried blueberries also. And don't think for a second that I forgot this second little box of these Chinese goodies. So, alright. So that's it. I mean, that is a quick, simple, super recipe. And then you just kind of get in here and you're going to mix it all together. And like I said, this can be put into individual serving bags. You can make it from a quarter cup to a full cup to a pound if you like. You can leave it in a bowl for a football game. This is kind of like I said, one of those things is we want to know why we're eating. Are we eating because we're bored? Are we eating because we're hungry and we just need that little pick-me-up before the next main meal? Or are we stuck in the snow someplace or in our car and this is our meal? This is all we have. So those are the things you think about or you want to think about when it comes to snacks. And, you know, cravings, serve your cravings, but do it in a proper and smart way. So, like I said, and the closer you are to the main meal, the more this becomes an appetizer. So, I'm Chef Joe, and have a good one.